Before we break, though, we got to hear from Tua Tagovailoa, the guy who is the quarterback in Miami, and Brian Flores has said that twice now. He is our quarterback. Conjugation is very critical in situations like this. He's never said he will be. He's never said Deshaun Watson won't be. All he said is Tua is our quarterback. Let's hear how Tua is dealing with these rumors. Here's his comments from yesterday's loss to the Falcons.
I mean, it was a normal week for me. I approach this game the same way I approach any other game. So.
But when the coaches have to sit down and talk to you about trade rumors, that doesn't necessarily seem like a normal week, even though it's kind of been consistent all season.
Yeah, I would say it still is a normal week. The only thing is, I really respect and appreciate his transparency, with where he's at with that. But within our conversations, I like to keep those private too. So, well, I hear it. I do hear it. The thing is, I just don't listen to it. That's the thing. But yeah, that's that.
And Mike, this is a very cold, objective, dispassionate sport. It's results driven. When you lose to a team that lost 20 games in a row, that's not going to put the fire out, right? I mean, when Tua was having, and as anyone would, you think it's your job. They just drafted you a year and a half ago, and now what do you mean, Deshaun Watson? You haven't even given me a chance yet. I came in with a bad hip, and I was behind Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then I was playing, and I got benched a couple of times, although he's admitted that that's because he didn't know the offense as well as he should. But, when you're wondering what the team is thinking, well, one way to deal with it is go out and play so well that they stop thinking about the other guy. And if you do, great, and if you don't, that's just how the game works. If you aren't getting it done, they're going to find somebody else that they think can.
So it has changed with the quarterbacks, the high-drafted quarterbacks. And listen, it's a guy who threw 4 touchdowns yesterday, in the loss. Did throw 2 interceptions as well. But once the rookie wage scale came into play, I think the last quarterback to go number 1 without it was Sam Bradford. He got about $50 million, some guaranteed. Well, these first-round quarterbacks aren't making that money at this point now. It's gone down considerably. So the money invested is not as much as it was, so you can do this more. You can go through a couple of years of a quarterback you took early on, first rounders I'm talking about more than anything else, and you can move on them because the money hit isn't as bad as it was. But the bottom line for Tua and listening to him talk is you're a human being. Right? You're a human being. And I'm glad at least he says he hears it. There are some people who said, I don't even hear that stuff. Yeah, you do. Everybody hears it, and everybody will process it differently. But at the end of it all, once you hear it, once you process it, you have to look in the mirror and you have to say, I'm the only one that can control what I can do. So he's still right now the quarterback on the field. And whether it's to quarterback to try and show I can be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins for my future, or show enough that there's another team out there, if this team is set on bringing in Deshaun Watson, that I'm good enough that another team is going to want me. That's all you can do. Hell, I tell my kids that goes from a young age all the way up to the professional ranks. All you can do is control what's in your house. You can't control what management's going to do, and you can control yourself by playing better, by playing well. And he's played well at times, but he's struggled at times. He's been inconsistent, and he's been hurt. That's not the mark that checks the box that says, yeah, he's our quarterback for the next decade.
Yeah, and the problem is, no matter how determined he is to play well, he just may not have the high-end tools that would allow him to do it. So no matter how hard he tries, no matter how determined he is to prove that they shouldn't want Deshaun Watson is better than him. It's that simple. There are some guys who are better than others in the NFL at quarterback, and that's just part of the reality of assessing your team. Now, I still don't know why they took Tua instead of Justin Herbert, but I think that's another reason why they're feeling the urgency to make the change. And you make an excellent point on how the rookie wage scale changes the approach. I mean, look at what the Cardinals did. They traded up to number 10 to take Josh Rosen in 2018 and threw him overboard after one season because they could get Kyler Murray. And that is never brought up as a mistake. You do what you have to do to get your franchise quarterback, because once you have him, you've got him for 10, 15, 20 years, unless you completely mismanage the relationship and then he wants to be traded like Deshaun Watson. Other than that, you're going to have that guy, and you're set for a generation of football. So that's why teams keep swinging the bat and trying to get a franchise quarterback, because once you get him, you are golden for a very long time, Mike.
Oh, listen, completely agree. I mean, that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for that magical moment. You know, that's why we were scratching our heads again with Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones saying, what are you doing? You know, you got your guy here. You're signing everybody in the world before him, and finally, you know, they signed him even after he was hurt. I mean, it even does it. Not even a quarterback, but you look at Khalil Mack from the Raiders. You wondered why you want a guy to be as good as he was, and then you end up trading him away. I know it was a lot of money, and you have to think about the cap, but you're looking for these types of players, and then you scratch your head when you say, okay, now we're going to get rid of them. And on the other hand is you pay a lot of money early, and they're not panning out. You can discard them quicker and try and change your roster over.
That's one of the things I love about the draft. I use the metaphor all the time that basically your draft picks are unused lottery tickets and you're trying to scratch off the jackpot. And when you do get one, eventually you're the one that's got to pay the jackpot to the guy. That's the downside. Eventually you've got to pay that guy, because that's what you want. You want these cornerstone players, and that's what every team wants, a franchise quarterback. And somebody's getting Deshaun Watson, I believe, this week. And barring something unexpected, something stunning, something shocking, it will be the Dolphins or the Panthers this week.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.